What's up, everybody? You're listening to Roundtable Wrestling Radio for June 6th, 2017. I'm Joey 924. With me, as always, from Queens, New York.
The one, the only, the Byron.
And from the Bronx of New York City.
Innocent, a.k.a. Big O, the voice of
people. Nobody cares.
What a cutoff.
Chicago. From Chicago.
And Laura Phoenix.
And we're going to be talking about Extreme Rules and Great Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire. They showed the Great Balls of Fire trailer during Extreme Rules, and it actually had the fucking Jerry Lee Lewis song on it. I cannot believe that they got the rights to play that fucking song. And by the way, when they
I was going to say that
it's corny.
I gotta look that up.
Corny, man. It's the corniest, stupidest. When they cut back to Michael Cole, them saying, check us out on July for Great Balls of Fire. It's just like 1990s WCW bullshit. And I don't know who the fuck came up with that. I don't know if it's a joke, and they just
Vince
ran with
McMahon. I told you, Vince McMahon got dementia. He thought that song came out last week, and that's just the way it is.
And then
he's out of touch.
The internet goes crazy because the fucking logo of Great Balls of Fire is a fucking dick and balls. So the internet went crazy for this on Sunday and actually drew it.
I swear I didn't realize until a fan actually drew the penis, man. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, hey, I seen that at the STD clinic in the projects.
You have people who wake up in the morning to look for bullshit all day long. That's what they do. Thank God, because
it looked like a penis.
They have no damn job.
Like,
don't.
Penis look like this. You need to check yourself.
So, talking about Extreme Rules for a second, we're gonna go through this really quick because there was really nothing extreme about it. By the way, that was the least extreme Rules of all time, and it bothers me that they even call it that because everything to me was a letdown as far as the extreme part of the pay-per-view. Dean Ambrose and Miz, which started the pay-per-view. Really good Intercontinental title match, by the way. Not that it was extreme because Dean Ambrose, had to get. He couldn't do anything because he would get disqualified, so they took out the element of that. And but good match, man. I thought Miz redeemed himself and Dean Ambrose redeemed himself. Really good match. I really enjoyed that shit a lot.
I only enjoyed the last 5 or 10 minutes, man. I felt like the first 5 or 10 minutes was kind of like. Trying to get Dean Ambrose disqualified. Dean Ambrose grabbing chairs, acting like he forgot that the title was going to change hands, because he's going to get disqualified. I felt like they were playing that a little too much. But, the ending was great, though. I like the way they did it.
I do like how they pulled it off. It was kind of, I was sitting here going, are they really going to just do the DQ bit? Or they do? And I knew damn well that they weren't going to, but I was like, this is WWE they're talking about. They could very well do that and just fuck everybody in the process.
And then they have like during the pay-per-view, they have the next match is a total like filler match with Sasha Banks and the guy that dances as the cruiserweight champion. I was just
can't stand that guy.
Rich Swann.
Yeah, Rich Swann.
You know what? No. A lot of people
really great athlete, by the way. Really great athlete, though.
A lot of people was giving slack in that match. They felt like, what was the point? I kind of enjoyed the Swan and Doam Dar exchange. I liked the exchange they were doing.
I agree.
Other than that, that's it. Like nothing was special. Sasha Banks, I don't know what they're doing with Sasha Banks, but Sasha Banks has really got reduced in this company.
She got reduced big time. I don't know what's going on with that. I really feel that Sasha is a victim of we don't know what to do with you. I don't think it's a demotion or she did anything wrong. I just think that they don't.
I think a lot of it is they don't know what to do with the women's division on Raw. Period.
Oh yeah, exactly. The Behemoth lady said something about that.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's without Charlotte Flair, what else can Sasha Banks really be doing? I don't think she's a great promo. I think she's kind of corny. Sometimes when she talks, she just sounds stupid. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way. I don't know. I don't see her doing much in this company, man, except with Charlotte Flair. I feel like that was the only matchup that everybody wanted to see. Well, everything else after is like, eh.
I think she could go with Alexa Bliss. I think that could be her next opponent, if you will.
Alexa Bliss would demolish her on the mic. And it's like, who really wants to see that?
But speaking of which, by the way, that's the next match, and I have to talk about this because I said a couple of months ago that if this routine with Bailey, with WWE trying to play the sympathy card and tried to show how much of a fan she was and show her pictures with Bret Hart and Rob Van Dam, and I said that it's gonna backfire with the fans and the fans are gonna revolt and Bailey would become John Cena, and on the pay-per-view, clearly Alexa Bliss is getting overly cheered over Bailey. And it's very, very clear on the pay-per-view. You hear the guys saying Alexa Bliss and the girls saying we want Bailey. It's kind of the John Cena thing with the chants, and it was really bad. And by the way, not to mention the fact that the match was bad. Again,
that match did not help either girl at all.
No,
that match was boring. That match was bad.
Yeah, you promoted
that goddamn kendo stick fell, but Bailey had her hand on it first, all right, which means Bailey had the legal use of it. The minute Alexa picked that goddamn thing up and hit Bailey with it, it should have been a disqualification.
Wait a second. Just so you know, the way I saw the match was Bailey was completely like buried during that match. Like she was.
Oh yeah, she was buried.
This chick got over. She beat the shit out of her.
Somebody in that company.
The moment she tried to grab the fucking the stick, she got beat with the stick. So it's like she got.
Not only that, but she got beat with the stick, and then Alexa does a DDT, and that's it.
Hold on, but mind you, that Bailey got no offense with that stick.
No offense at all.
Nothing at all.
You know, she was backstage talking about she was studying Tommy Dreamer and this. Yo, it's completely nonsense.
No. Don't forget. She just finished seeing Wonder Woman before that. Like that was gonna give her superpowers and shit. Yeah, like, I don't know what that was about, but I don't think it's the way they booked her. I just feel like somebody in the back said Bailey, is just an underachiever. Like I feel like they feel like. She's not living up to what she could have lived up to, especially when coming from NXT. You know, the first month she was getting.
But it has a lot to do with the fact that they play the sympathy card every fucking week with her.
Yeah, and the sympathy card, her promos suck. I mean, let's be honest. How many times we're gonna hear about her growing up and idolizing all these wrestlers? Exactly. And her promos are so preschoolish. It's like. How can they go behind that? I don't even know how she was over NXT the way she was.
Not only that, no, but she was completely.
She didn't talk.
Yeah, she was way better in NXT. But and then to top it off, you have Charlotte and Alexa and whoever else is facing her, burying her on the mic. Like telling the fans this is a fucking.
Nia was on the pre-show panel, and she was flat out burying Bailey.
That's what I'm saying. Like they've done that over and over. You've had Charlotte talk about how she looks like a little girl. She dresses like a 12-year-old. Alexa.
Come on.
You have that with if you do that over and over and over again, guess what? The fans are going to start revolting, and that's exactly what happened on Sunday. The fans revolted on Bailey, and I think Bailey is in a lot of trouble as far as I'm concerned. A lot. Sasha,
by the way, real quick. I just wanted to get this out real quick. Byron, I think it was you before the show started. It said about Jerry Lewis being dead. No, he's not dead. He's actually still alive.
Is he?
I didn't even say that.
81 years old.
No, I thought he died in a plane crash. Wait. The guy that wrote Great Balls of Fire?
Huh? Still alive.
What? No, I don't. I thought he died in a plane crash.
Hold on. Not Jerry Lewis.
No, it was Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. You're right.
Gracious.
Anyway, the point is,
by the way, married his cousin, who was I think 15 years old. By the way.
The point of Jerry Lewis' song is Bailey got squashed. I'm glad that they're finally gonna get out that spotlight. I feel like she wasn't progressing in Raw. It was something missing about her. Her promos was garbage. I mean, and I've been saying it for the longest, and not because I hate on her or she's a bad wrestler. She just wasn't connecting. Only the first month. Yay, she came from NXT. Wow, she's super over. After a month, it was going downhill. It's not because of how they were booking her.
No. I disagree with you. It is because of how they were booking her. Because again, you cannot shove that shit down people's throats and then expect people to cheer for that. They're not gonna like that.
Listen, they did it with John Cena. They shoved him down the throat. The Fruity Pebbles. The Rock. Hold on, the Rock buried John Cena, and somehow John Cena still came up with that.
Look what happened. The fans hated John Cena for a long period of time, dude. It's because of it's her job to change the fans, to have that mean aggression. You know what I mean? Some wicked comeback. Exactly. How are you going to change anything if you're given what to do and what to say? How are you going to change it?
Given a task to go out there and do that, you really don't have a choice to what to do.
Bro, it's the way you deliver. It's the way you deliver. You know that.
There's no delivery in that, man.
We've had wrestler after wrestler on this show tell us about how that process works. JTG, countless guys talking about how they don't really have creative. It depends on who you are and who you
gotta make it work, though. You got to make it work. Dusty Rhodes with the polka dots. He made it work. A lot of people make their gimmick work. She's not making it work.
Dude, Bailey's not Dusty Rhodes, man. But Bailey's not Dusty Rhodes, okay?
Wait.
Of course not. Wait. An example. You have to somehow embrace the character and try to make it work.
You're talking about...
Hold on, wait a minute. Even before the way they booked her, it's not like the crowd was going crazy with her. It wasn't. After a month or two, the crowd started to, diminish in her pops. It wasn't the same.
Yeah, but I said why though before. I said because they weren't using her. They would just fucking focus on Sasha and Charlotte. Every other girl.
Not only that, but like I said before, when you have Charlotte telling you week after week that you're a little girl and you're a fan, guess what? That resonates with the people. I said it before about JBL commentary. That resonates when you.
Okay, but wait a minute. But I could have sworn I said the same thing a couple months ago, and somebody here, which I think it was Sean, said that they've been doing that since NXT, and she was still over. So why is it different?
But Raw. When you go to Raw or SmackDown, I don't know. There is a difference.
Exactly my point. Is different and it's not working. It just wasn't working from the get go.
Corey Graves said that the NXT audience is like a quarter of the actual audience. It's not the same audience. But like I said, you cannot tell people every week, Charlotte telling people every week that this is a little girl, that she's a fan, that you look like a fan, that week after week. And then Alexa Bliss picks it up right where Charlotte left off. And guess what? People started getting sick of it. And now she's in a lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble.
I said before,
she's in so much trouble that she wasn't even on Raw. So that's how much trouble.
I said before she should turn heel and use the hug life thing, against people and all that stuff. That's what I think.
That's the what I was trying to tell. What I was trying to tell was the character that she has, she knows how to use it. The problem is when she goes out there and she has to fucking talk, and she has to basically say what they want her to say.
Right.
She doesn't really have a choice. So she can embrace the character in a different way, yeah. But when she has to go out there and cut those promos,
like I said, she's been doing that since NXT.
But you can't deliver. Why is it
NXT is different? But over
it's completely different. Yeah, I've always said that. I've always said that it's a different ball game when you jump from NXT to the main roster. And a lot of the guys have gone to the main roster.
Yeah, right now, you know what it is? When you're in the big stage, you start seeing the bullshit. Look at the bullshit that nobody really cares about.
Look at the Vaudevillains when they went to SmackDown. It did not work. That whole thing did not. Even though it was one of my favorite things, but
it's a different ball game, man.
Didn't resonate.
I'm just glad we finally get. I'm not saying off TV permanently, but out of this role, it wasn't working. You know me. I couldn't stand Bayley. I cannot stand her character. I think turning heel is the next thing that she needs. She has to do it. If not, then
I think it would be so great for her. I really do. They have to definitely do something different. They have to, or she's going to, excuse me, she's going to remain in those waters where she's going to be the girl that people get through to get to the other side. You know what I mean? And that's where she's going to stay. Unfortunately, Alexa Bliss, by the way. I was a little shocked that there was no offense at all from Bayley, and Alexa killed her the way that she did. I really was shocked about it. I don't know if it was the crowd reaction thing or what, or if they called it an audible, but that match looked like there was something off in that match.
And there was a lot of people that just did not like how Alexa Bliss was wrestling that day. I mean, I didn't really look so deep into it. I barely paid attention, honestly. But a lot of people felt like that match showed that Alexa Bliss wasn't ready for the main stage. That's what a lot of people think. I don't know.
Really? I didn't see that.
A lot of people didn't like the match, even from her standpoint.
Oh.
What do you think about Laura? You're a woman wrestler. Do you think Alexa Bliss, did okay or?
Like I said, that match helped neither girl.
Yeah, that had problems.
Neither girl.
There was something off. Let
me tell you something.
But I will say this though, something was off. It couldn't have been from Bayley's standpoint because Bayley is too professional when it comes to wrestling.
Alexa Bliss can go. Alexa Bliss can go. And to be honest with you, the person who got put over in that match was Alexa Bliss. Yeah. The one who got trashed was fucking Bayley.
Yeah,
she was out. She was put there to be humiliated. That's what the match was for.
And that's after she said she saw Wonder Woman.
So
that's what I'm saying.
The person. So it.
What I don't understand. What I don't understand is that she was talking about Sandman and Tommy Dreamer, like what?
And Steve Blackman.
Like what?
Yeah. I guess now we know why.
And there's a Steve Blackman reference. All is well.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, the next match was, in my opinion, one of the best matches, if not the best match, which was the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro. Those four guys brutalize each other every single time. The Hardys have killed it every single time that they've wrestled since coming back. I really enjoyed that match, man. Jeff Hardy with the whisper in the wind from the top of the cage. Matt Hardy did his thing too. Great. Really good match, man. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
And I was definitely waiting for that one high spot that was going to break no homo, Matt Hardy. It didn't happen. With that being said, I liked the match. I thought the match was a really good match.
Sheamus doing the white noise to Matt Hardy from the top. That was sick. That was sick.
I thought the match was great. The only, and you might call this nitpicking, but the only thing I didn't like about the match was if Jeff Hardy was going to go back into the ring to save Matt, why didn't he do that a long time ago? Why did he stay most of the match outside just to go back inside?
Because when he
first wrestling.
Yeah, no, but because when he first went out,
you got to be a little bit more believable than that. Come on.
No, when he first went out, Matt Hardy was handling himself. Then he started getting jumped. That's why he went back in the ring.
But he didn't go back in the ring until how long after that when he started getting jumped?
But Matt Hardy was taking care of himself. He didn't have to go back in the ring. Then he had to go back in the ring. You know what I mean? Matt Hardy was actually dominating Cesaro and Sheamus by himself, and then they started jumping him. That's why Jeff Hardy went back into the ring. What I don't understand is my problem with these steel cage tag team matches, even though we don't see a lot of them, is that you have the door option. There was so many times where Matt and Jeff could have just walked out the fucking door. Like that's like they should do it where only over the top, because the door option, I think it makes it look like, a little bit corny as far as I'm concerned.
But garbage.
Yeah, but other than that, I thought those guys killed it. Really good match, man. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to do the show, was to talk about that match, because I really am impressed with Jeff Hardy. And by the way, Jeff Hardy, he is getting pops like crazy, man. I mean, getting pops.
That's one guy I will say that he fucked up so many times in WWE, and we're talking about long periods of not being there. Yep. 4 years one time, 5 years, and then now what? Since 2009, and he comes back exactly in the same position where he left. That guy, I'm sorry to say, I see him fighting for the title real soon. Next year or so.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think Jeff Hardy is just way too over.
It's just so much different than TNA, man. Like, he's really the mega star over here.
And by the way, not to throw shade on that, but he was getting his shit in there too, by the way. They were doing the delete thing when they walked out. He was getting the Brother Nero chants were pretty loud.
They're getting louder though. They're getting louder.
Yeah, they are.
So week now there's like.
Now Matt and Jeff are extremely over, and I think it was the best thing for Cesaro and Sheamus, man, because now they look like a real tag team. I like the way they won the match. They cut a good promo on Raw. Really, really enjoy Cesaro and Sheamus, man. They're killing it with the Hardys. I like that feud. They're making Cesaro.
It's one of the things. It's one of the things I was kind of scared about. I was kind of skeptical about at first. And now all of a sudden it's just like, yes, okay, here we go. We're getting exactly what we need. It's like Vince doesn't hate the tag division anymore. It's great.
Yeah. And the next match, by the way, another, in my opinion, stellar match. I really enjoyed it. Made me enjoy the pay-per-view even more. And that's Austin Aries and Neville. Two other guys that when they wrestle each other, they tear it down. Really good submission match, man.
It was
Austin Aries. Austin Aries is fucking amazing with those submissions. Honestly,
let me tell you something. It was a really good match in front of a bunch of people who didn't give a fuck, right? But with that being said, watching this match and seeing Austin Aries lose, I felt like not giving him the title where he was red hot around WrestleMania time was a mistake. Because honestly, let's be honest here, Austin Aries is not the same person since WrestleMania. WrestleMania, he was getting huge pops. They were chanting his name. It's like it fizzled out. It's like once he didn't get the title the first 2 times, his pops and everything just fizzled out. He don't seem like the
I said from the get-go that this was going to be his downfall because they put him. And listen, I understand why they put him in that division, but he should have not been put there because he's one of those guys where you want to see him fight big names like with name stars like fucking John Cena, fucking Seth Rollins, fucking AJ Styles, not guys in the fucking cruiserweight division where we don't know anything of these guys. So who is he really fighting? We just know him.
But he's only been fighting Neville.
Right, but you get what I'm saying? And I had a feeling this was gonna happen because he got lost in there. He got lost in there.
I don't think he's gonna stay there though. I really don't. I think Austin Aries. And by the way,
but what? So what is he gonna do? Where's he gonna go after? I mean, if he couldn't beat the cruiserweight champion, you think he's gonna fight for a heavyweight title or in the Continental or something? No.
I don't think right away, but I think he is gonna start wrestling guys like Samoa Joe. And
it's gonna take a long time to be rebuilding him back up to be a contender for the title for a heavier weight.
No, I disagree that if Finn Balor can do it, Austin Aries can do it.
Hold up, but Finn Balor didn't lose 3 times in a row after a cruiserweight championship.
Dude,
you know what I mean? Like,
but those first 2 times, Neville was cheating. It wasn't like he beat Austin Aries in the middle of the ring clean. You know,
I just want you to hear. I want you to know this. This guy Austin Aries actually tweeted that it's time for some kind of change.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
that's what
he lost. So hopefully it doesn't mean it's time for a change and he's gonna put on a mask and start jumping around and shit. I hope it's really a change where he just gets out of that whole fucking division and just says, "Listen, this is not where I was supposed to be."
This is what I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that Austin Aries was in there to help really elevate Neville. That's what I believe. That's because he was a name guy. He was getting
I think he was just put. But Joe,
they knew that he would have stellar matches with Neville, and he has had stellar matches with Neville every single time.
But I think honestly, he was really put there just to help the division, not just to help this guy Neville. Neville was one of those guys where he wasn't even supposed to be in there. You get what I'm saying? But they put him in there because they were lacking.
I think he should be out of it.
Yes, and I agree because he's such a fucking good ass heel, man.
But
he's one of those guys that from NXT, he was on NXT and he was a heel just like that. I think he's more of a heel now, though.
Yeah, he's more of a heel, and not only that, but just like Jinder Mahal, he looks like a heel.
Right. And I think he has so much potential, but he's stuck in that division right now where he's the king. Like he says, he's the kid fucking guy.
The only question I got is
because Finn Balor should be in the cruiserweight division, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, and this is what they needed to do. I think they should have took Finn Balor. They should have took a lot of the big names and threw him in there. I'm not saying fucking Samoa Joe, but I'm saying maybe a Seth Rollins could have gone in that division just to help it boost up, to give it recognition, to have people watch that product, because Seth Rollins can go in there.
I forgot who said it, but I think it was either Eric Bischoff or Jim Cornette that said Finn Balor should have been in the cruiserweight division, at least for a little while.
Yes, and I agree.
But hold on, but my question about this whole thing is, who's next for Neville? Like, did Austin Aries lose because they have somebody in mind and somebody coming in? Because let's be honest,
I think it's TJP.
Aries the only one.
Yeah, TJP's been doing his thing.
Yeah, he fought him tonight.
Yeah, but he's not over.
Neville and TJP
You're talking about the guy, the video game guy with the theme song, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he attacked him last night on Raw, and basically said tonight they were supposed to fight.
But TJP gets no reaction. Yes, he's a good wrestler. I'm not gonna lie. He's a really phenomenal wrestler. I saw him in the cruiserweight division the tournament. He's really good, but he has no personality. He gets no pops. Why him? You know what I mean? I think they should have gave the belt to Austin Aries, to be honest with you. I feel like he's the only guy right now.
Even if they did, it doesn't do anything for Austin Aries. This is my point. This is why I said what I said last week.
Hold up, but losing to Neville 3 times, that's worse for him.
This is why.
But again, it wasn't 3 clean losses. I mean,
and this is why I said last week that
Neville was going to right now. He got submitted. I mean,
that was a loss. That was definitely a loss.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything for him if he won or lost. To be honest with you, because nobody's watching that shit. As much as I enjoyed the match, because they really did a fucking great job, because I watched it.
It was a really good match. I'm not gonna lie. That was the second best match tonight.
Yeah, and I usually do not even bother with it, but I watched it because I'm into Neville and I'm into Austin Aries, and they gave him the fucking opportunity to go out there and perform, and that's what they did. So kudos to them. But honestly, it's still not enough to have me going back there and keep up with what's going on with that product. It's still not enough.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, right, and this is why I said they need fucking. If they can get Rey Mysterio, good. But not even Rey Mysterio could generate enough interest in that fucking product. You need a lot of fucking names.
I still want to see Rey Mysterio and Kalisto. Why? By the way, why isn't Kalisto in there?
I don't know. Good question. He should not even be on Raw. To be honest,
nobody cares about Kalisto, man. Kalisto,
yeah, but he's not. But nobody cares. Nobody cares about him fighting anybody on Raw.
Actually, I think he will be next for Neville.
No, Kalisto's getting buried. He just lost to Titus O'Neil last week.
No, he was. But here's the thing: he not only beat Apollo, but he beat Titus on Raw yesterday. That I did see. I was working last night.
Let me ask you something. But the crowd
not you're right, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be in the cruiserweight division.
Hold on, you want to talk about somebody that they fucked up in the booking? I mean, this guy was over, man. The crowd was doing the whole lucha thing, and the booking of Kalisto.
Why did they change his? Why did they change his song?
Why change his mask? Why he's? I don't know.
I actually like the mask.
Who cares?
I like the mask that he wore on the pre-show. I love that mask. It's one of my favorites.
I think he could recover. I really do. I think he could recover in the cruiserweight division.
Listen,
he could recover because he hasn't got buried, that deep yet. But it's definitely, we're all in agreement here. Kalisto is not in the same. He is not in the same status as he was like 4 or 5 months ago.
He's not. But he's on Raw. He's where the cruiserweights are. I mean,
But Kalisto, let me ask you a question. Do you think Kalisto, just because he's on Raw facing all these big guys, do you still have any kind of interest in Kalisto?
No,
okay, so I think what they should have done.
He should be in the cruiserweight division.
Put him on the cruiserweight division. Help that shit. Why are you only depending on this fucking Neville and Austin Aries? You need more guys. Finn Balor would have been perfect. Finn Balor would have been so perfect to be put in that shit.
I agree with that.
I'm sorry, but if they didn't bury Tony Nese the way they have been, I really like Tony Nese, and I wish he was the guy, man, the next guy. But. Yeah.
And I forgot the Arab guy is good too. I forgot his name. But
Mustafa Ali.
Good.
Or what about this? What if they just keep the cruiserweight division just open, right? And anybody that's in that weight class can jump in there, fight, and go on Raw and fight Raw guys. I think that would be good.
It would be good, but they're not going to do that though.
Yeah,
but I'm saying because if they're really trying to gain interest in that product, it's not working.
To be honest with you, I don't think they're trying though. I think they know what it is, and that's what it is. I guess. It's the same thing with the UK. It's the same thing with the UK division. It is what it is.
Because last night when they did the whole thing on Raw, where Neville, this guy, what's his name? PJ Hawkins, whatever. What's his name?
TJP. Now.
Whatever. Yeah, he supposedly went up to Neville. Whatever his name is, he supposedly went up to this guy and he said, "Hey man, what happened to your promise?" And Neville said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna talk to Angle." And then he came out and said, "Hey, I spoke to Angle and I got bad news." And then he attacked him and said, "You'll get your match tomorrow night."
They're trying to build something. They're desperately trying to get people to watch it.
But why do I nobody cares to see this guy fight Neville? You understand? They thought that was gonna work. They failed because I don't think nobody cared.
People do watch, so they're doing it for those people that watch. That's what they're doing it for.
Honestly, I think they purposely did what they did because they want momentum going into whatever the fuck they're showing there.
Yeah,
and that was not enough because
I'll be honest
TJ it's not a name that I can say. Oh,
okay, but can I just say something obvious real quick? We spent a lot of time talking about the cruiserweights for something that we don't care about. We spent a lot of time talking about it. Anyway, the next match on the card was the last match. What did you think of the 5-pack match? Because there was a 5-pack match in the early 2000s that was really fucking awesome, and I don't know, like. For me, I didn't feel it. I didn't really.
What, dude? Let me tell you something. I watched it from the beginning to end with no complaints whatsoever. I was entertained through the whole entire 35 minutes.
I liked it, but I expected more from it. I don't know.
Nah,
you know what?
I don't have no complaint.
Rollins was awesome.
No, I have a complaint. I like the match and all that. I just felt like in the beginning, Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe teaming up was just way too long. Too long of them beating up one person at a time. And there's one little thing that's been annoying me about wrestling, and it showed a lot in this match. It seems like, well, it's been happening for a while, but it was so obvious in this match. Like when somebody gets hit with a minor move, they're gone for like 15 minutes of the match. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when Roman Reigns double spears Samoa Joe, and I forgot who the other person was. Samoa Joe had the least of the impact, and he was knocked out for like 10 minutes. It didn't even look devastating from his end. I don't like when they do that. I hate it. One move and they're gone for 10 minutes.
I agree with 100% about the Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe thing. And also the other thing that bothered me is the thing that we said in the beginning. It wasn't extreme enough. Like the only extreme thing was the table spot that Rollins did, which was awesome, by the way. The hang time that he does on that frog splash is amazing. But other than that, there was nothing extreme about it. You know, like
I thought Rollins messed up his knee. In that table.
I wanted some more extremeness. I thought those guys were going to go really far in that match, and I didn't see it. Roman Reigns, like O said, Roman Reigns gets hit with a clothesline, disappears for 15 minutes. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I watched the match, and I guess I could agree with you on that part where you said Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt was kind of teaming up for a very long time, and obviously they're going to break up a fight. Yeah. But even if they didn't have any weapons or anything, I still enjoyed it. You get what I'm saying? Like there was enough there for me.
Extreme Rules, you know, like
no, and I agree with you.
It's like the Rumble with no Rumble.
No,
let me tell you something.
I still have no complaints. So like I enjoyed the match. I was into it.
And one of the main complaints I got,
I enjoyed
one of the main complaints I got about this match was, to me, I felt like Samoa Joe underperformed, man. Like really, like I've seen him in 5-way matches in TNA. I've seen him in 5-way TNA matches. I mean, this guy used to jump over the ropes. There was one match that I seen. He was all over the place. He was like the best person in that match, and he did absolutely nothing in this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what happened to the TNA Samoa Joe? Is he washed up already? Is WWE telling him don't outshine everybody?
They are eliminating him.
No, he was doing stuff in NXT. Let me tell you. When he was wrestling Nakamura, he was doing all of those things.
No, but I mean, remember the 5-way matches? You know,
no, I agree.
Like he was the shining guy in that whole match, and it's like this one was like, what happened? I was telling my step pops, watch Samoa Joe. That's the guy to watch, and he did nothing.
No, I agree with that. By the way, him and Roman were almost non-existent in this match. I don't know if you noticed that. No, almost non-existent. Like Bray did most of the stuff. Seth Rollins did most of the stuff. Finn Balor at the end, you know, he's another one that to me is underperforming. I don't feel it. I think, and again, and I've said this before about Finn Balor. He has the entrance. People go they put their arms up, but in a match he doesn't get the reaction. I don't know if you noticed that. Finn Balor doesn't get much of a reaction after the entrance. Not like Nakamura, where Nakamura is getting a reaction during the match and all of that. Finn Balor's not getting it. I just don't feel it with Finn Balor at all. And I thought he underperformed as well.
And as much as everybody's been talking about Finn Balor being undersized, I was really studying it. And wow, he really does look little. next to everybody.
Right.
But with that being said, he's still
the
bigger than Rey Mysterio. So I mean, hey,
that's not. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is what is he doing? Like I don't know. I didn't get it. That's so for me. Like I enjoyed the pay-per-view, but I thought it was going to be more extreme than that. That's my only complaint. Seth Rollins, by the way, did a phenomenal frog splash from through the table. That was crazy. But that was good stuff.
You didn't think that Seth Rollins hurt his knee because it looked like he banged it, man. I thought they showed it as a replay. I was like, oh man.
That and when Finn Balor did that kick to Roman Reigns, that shit was awesome, man. I thought he broke Roman Reigns' face. At the end, Finn Balor when he had that, that little spurt of offense on everybody. That was pretty cool. But Samoa Joe wins the match, and did anybody have Samoa Joe to win?
I think we spoke about it. I don't know. I don't remember. To be honest.
I didn't think Samoa Joe was going to win, to be honest.
But I think I did say. But I think I said. I think we broke down on who we.
I said anybody but Samoa Joe, and of course.
I actually like the fact. I like the fact that Samoa Joe.
But it kind of makes sense that Samoa Joe won because
at first I hated it, and then
I like it because he looks like a real contender to Brock.
No, like but I say it makes sense because they're gonna book Brock against Braun Strowman in SummerSlam, so I guess they wanted to get another big guy.
That's if Strowman can come back by SummerSlam.
Yeah, but it's not because
they said 6 months. By the way, they said 6 months that he's going to be out.
No,
it was more extensive than.
Yeah, on the pay-per-view they said 6 months.
No, but I heard they did that just to say that he will be back by SummerSlam, for what I understand.
Okay, cool. Because I'll be there.
Excuse me, Mr. Moneybag.
Which speaking of Brooklyn, NXT has announced NXT Brooklyn Takeover 3.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Who's fighting on the card?
Well,
not sure yet.
Yeah, it's too
I'm pretty sure Ciampa.
I was gonna say we got 2 months, man.
By the way, this is my least favorite time because there's so many pay-per-views around this time. We had the pay-per-view on Sunday. In 2 weeks, we have the Money in the Bank, and then the Great Balls of Fire, and then SummerSlam. I mean, that's a lot of fucking pay-per-views.
I'm kind of excited for the Money in the Bank. I don't know why.
I am excited. I've
always loved Money in the Bank.
It's a lot of pay-per-views. That's all I'm saying. A lot of pay-per-views in a row.
I watched the first Money in the Bank today.
So
from WrestleMania 21.
You like Samoa Joe and what he did yesterday on Raw with Paul Heyman?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well,
I felt like that was I felt like that was the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know how perfect it is. You know how perfect it is that he actually. This is something they don't do, and he had cornered Paulie in the corner and talked without a mic and told them directly to him, and the fucking camera picked up on everything he was saying to him. That was realism to me, and that's something they normally do not do. They always have to grab the mic and say it in the mic.
Yeah.
That felt like it came out like Samoa Joe is nobody to fuck with.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It reminded me of the old Samoa Joe, the way he would handle his business. Something like, you get what I'm saying? It brought back that feeling of him.
And not only that, but when he started choking Paul Heyman, Paul looked like he turned blue. Like, for real. Like, they did a great job with that, man.
They did. I thought it was fucking excellent with the way they had it.
And not only that, but Brock, people chanted, "We want Brock" and everything. Like, Brock just became.
And I think Samoa Joe did a good job, on the mic too, to even promote himself, to promote himself as a heel and promote Brock as a face.
Yeah. I think no, I don't know. I don't know what the first of all, they're both heels.
Brock is a good guy because they started chanting, "We want Brock."
Yeah, he's a good guy, bro. I mean, if they have him choking out his manager, it was obviously it was a swerve.
No, I know. What I'm saying is they're both known to be the bad guys. Is what I'm saying. This is how they came into it.
Right, but last night,
but the way they did it was basically, this is Brock is going to be the good guy coming in to fight Joe.
Yeah.
But I like the way this is the Samoa Joe that should have been from the get-go when he first came in. He kind of fighting Samoa Joe. You get what I'm saying?
But this is what I meant about the same thing like the Jinder Mahal, whatever. You know, Samoa Joe was like, I don't know, being like Kevin Owens and Triple H's lackey, you know, sidekick. You know, he wasn't in the forefront, and all of a sudden he wins a match for the title. You know, I never liked that. Why he wasn't dominant until that match? You know, not even the match he was dominant. I mean, until Monday.
Well, I mean, maybe that gives him confidence, and you know, like
I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't like the fact that you got somebody who's not really in the forefront, who's not really the focal point of Raw. And he wins, and next thing you know, we got to take him seriously. I don't like that. You know,
I agree. But you know, I like it because, like I said, he looks like a challenger to Brock. If it would have been Finn Balor, again, I said it last week, he'll just toss Finn Balor around, and I don't think people would take that seriously. But Joe looks like a guy that can go toe to toe with Brock Lesnar, and I'm very curious to see if Brock is going to be tossing him around.
And on top of that, because everybody who knows Joe knows his old school, the way he was from back in the day, TNA days and ROH days. So it just combining both those things, this is a dream match.
Yeah, it is a dream match for sure. You know? It's definitely a dream match.
And he's not going to complain about Brock hitting him hard either. He's probably going to promote it.
Yeah,
but I think that match is going to be a really good match.
No, he's not going to complain. But what I want to know is if Brock is going to complain. You know, because Brock is a guy.
Seems like that type of bitch.
No, but I, you know, only because Brock, if he doesn't feel like he's a superstar in his eyes, he's not going to, you know, cooperate that much with him. We saw that with Dean Ambrose. You know, Brock didn't consider Dean Ambrose a superstar that should be in the ring with him. And so you got to wonder if he considers Joe a superstar. I think he does for Braun Strowman, though. That I saw in Brock, that he thinks of Braun is a superstar. But we got to see if Joe is going to be able to do some offense on him, because that match is not going to work with Brock just tossing this guy around. You know, Samoa Joe's got to have offense. He looks like a beast out there.
Joe's not going to take it. And
yeah, exactly. He's got to do something. And that's all on Brock now to cooperate with that. But I like Paul Heyman getting choked out. Paul Heyman has not been physically attacked by anyone in a really long time that I could recall, especially not to that level. So looks cool. I actually enjoyed that last night on Raw. But that was my extent of Raw.
It was definitely to put a stamp on Samoa Joe, as you know, that's a badass now. You know what I mean?
I will say this. I was pleasantly surprised. I got to watch the beginning of Raw. Yeah. And I was pleasantly surprised to see Roman and Bray go 25 minutes, and it was solid match.
Oh, can I talk about this? Because I'm glad you brought that up.
No, you cannot talk about this.
Again. And you tell me and you ask me why, but Bray Wyatt opens up the show. You know, all these bodies is going to have to suffer for what they did to me in the Elimination Chamber. And first, I'm going to go through Roman Reigns, and then I'm going to go through this person. And then, remember, that was like 5-10 minutes of promo, and he lost again. This is why I cannot be behind Bray Wyatt no more. I cannot do this no more. I cannot be emotionally invested in a character that's going to fucking lose after hearing a 10-minute promo.
But here's the thing: you listened. You listened to him.
I listened because I thought, okay, he's changing it around now. Like I really thought, okay, now we're gonna see Bray Wyatt, and he lost again. Tell me why I should care about Bray Wyatt's character now.
You thought he was gonna beat Roman, really?
I thought something was gonna happen. I don't know. Somebody was gonna come in, but come on, man.
Joey and I would always say that Roman Reigns would always have these good matches. Like no matter what, he's always performed his ass off. It was a perfect example on Raw. Great match last week also with Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
he doesn't normally have bad matches. He really doesn't. But I don't know if you noticed, the crowd wasn't really booing him as much.
No, they weren't.
The night at the pay-per-view. And on Raw, like they were a little bit like cheering for him, and I was like, maybe people are starting to just either they say fuck it, they're giving up, or they're kind of like, we know this guy's gonna have a badass match.
Yeah. But I think it's also, they probably also know, hey, this is the guy. They're not gonna change it. You know,
No,
might as well get behind this.
I think it's exactly what everybody was saying. They lowered the mic in the fucking audience because if you notice when he came out on the pay per
because I saw
view,
the crowd.
wait, hold on. When he came on the pay per view, you heard the crowd, no problem. Before everybody, when everybody was coming out, but when Roman came out, you barely heard the crowd. All you heard was his loud music. It was like they turned down the mic on them.
That's true.
Go rewatch his entrance. You know what I mean? I think they're manipulating the crowd. They're manipulating the crowd reaction again. That's what I think.
Which I don't understand, because if you go to a live show, you're gonna be there and you're gonna hear it.
And on top of that, you're gonna hear it when he wrestles.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, stupid. It's a stupid mistake in the world to do that. You know.
Yeah.
But at this point, man, like I've lost 100% confidence in Bray Wyatt, and it's sad because I really did like him 2 years ago, but. I just hope to get him out these situations already. I don't want him to be the main guy no more. You know, fighting for nothing. Don't put him in the main event.
Yeah, the worst title reign. You know, I don't know, man. I really am disappointed with Bray. What they've done with him, because Bray. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this too. Bray gets pops, man. I mean, Bray is hugely over. I was in Madison Square Garden when he came out, and the crowd was going crazy for Bray Wyatt. Like, he's hugely over. He was hugely over on the pay-per-view when he came out. He was the first one to come out on the pay-per-view, and they were going nuts for him. So, I hope they don't fuck him up too much, man, because the crowd, they dig him.
Too late.
I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late.
I don't think it's too late.
I think they fucked him up already to that point.
He's too over. I think he's too over with the crowd for that.
And he's another guy. And he's another guy who always goes out there and performs his ass off. Really. He's another guy who normally doesn't have bad matches.
Really busts his ass. I was hoping to see Bray and Samoa Joe go at it, because I think that'd be an interesting match. But
Battle of the Santons or whatever that shit is.
The back Santons or whatever. So going to anything else interesting on Raw, because I didn't really see Raw. I saw the last part, the Samoa Joe thing, but I wasn't really.
They're setting Nia up against Alexa.
Oh yeah.
Looks like Nia may have a face turn, or Alexa may have a first turn. I couldn't get they were trying on it.
They were trying to get Nia to be the face, and
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, and it was so bad, man.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it was definitely bad.
Like you can literally hear her. Like when she was hitting when she was hitting Alexa Bliss, you hear her like, "Oh no, you did it, girl!" And it was just like,
no, but Nia Jax is also another
Behemoth lady. Behemoth lady.
Behemoth lady. Why are you reminding me of her real name? Anyway, so look, Behemoth lady is another female wrestler that they misused. First of all, I've always said that I don't like her Missy Elliott outfit. I don't like it. Yeah, she's wearing too much makeup. Like, she's trying to be pretty and big, and that's, I don't understand her.
Missy Elliott? Honestly, she looked like Puffy and Mace from back in the days in that video.
No, it's just the costume.
Missy Elliott.
The costume.
Yeah, Missy Elliott.
So my whole point is, they had an opportunity. They brought it to the forefront. Then they kind of dwizzled on her, and they kind of pushed her back behind the scenes because they were paying too much to Sasha and
she had Charlotte. Also, Byron, when she had that loss to Bayley, that was really bad.
Yeah, but it was a back and forth. Now, I don't know if the crowd really wants to be behind lady. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like that's another perfect example of not capitalizing on something you had at the moment when you could have used her, but then you started toying around with
she should have been a monster like Awesome Kong was in TNA, and they should have kept it like that. But her theme song is like cheery, like
you see her makeup in the beginning, like why am I seeing her makeup?
When they show the graphic of like the matchups, like she has a big smile on her face. Like I don't know, man. Like they definitely They definitely.
I told you she's trying to act like a plus size diva. I remember one time she was like, you know what I'm saying, like walking down the ring, and then like she looked at the camera, she started rolling her eyes, like you know how like casita girls do. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Didn't she have also? Didn't we post up a selfie of her in the bathroom, like posing like she's sexy and shit, like?
And the crowd last night was not into her at all as a face.
The crowd last night was
didn't know what to do.
Smart crowd. I think a smart crowd.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because
they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah, you encounter these smart crowds when they like. There's people that you just see them and they just be cheering for any bullshit, or they just followers. Yeah, you could tell when there's a crowd that knows what was going on.
Right. Yeah.
That's like that crowd knew. Like we know what the fuck what's going on here, and we're not accepting this shit. Like this is stupid. You know.
It was. Yeah. It's not gonna work. You know. Her and Alexa Bliss. I mean, I'm not. I'm not into it. I'm more into the Money in the Bank match that they're gonna have with the women on SmackDown. That's the right route. Excuse me, for the girls, because that's gonna be a kill.
Can I get this off my chest real quick?
Yeah.
Why in the fuck is Lana getting a goddamn title shot?
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even understand either.
Wait. Lana's getting a title shot?
Lana is getting a title shot at Naomi at Money in the Bank.
You can't lie though, but she did look sexy in that.
Yeah, she did. God.
Really
but
did.
she's basically a fucking stripper. That's what she is.
I don't care.
Hit on Shane fucking McMahon.
That's even better. Yeah, they probably. I don't know what they're gonna. Is she in the Money in the Bank match?
No,
she is she's one-on-one with Naomi.
Oh,
Naomi sucks in a promo. Did you hear her fucking promo? It was so annoying, yo. Tonight when she got on that mic and she was trying to act funny.
Yeah, she was trying to act funny.
Not
so what's
funny.
so funny? Oh, Bugs Bunny and you. Oh my god, that was horrible.
It was just corny, and she's like,
yeah.
And then everybody missed it, and then she did it again.
By the way, they were trying to make Lana the bad guy, but the crowd was so into Lana, like it did not work. It did not.
We were just happy to see her.
The crowd was so they wanted her in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, but you know what? Lana's always been a female that everybody liked. Like no matter what, they always liked her.
She's like the Sable of this era right now.
Yeah, and she's the one. She was more over than fucking Rusev.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Rusev is gonna get Mark Merrow real soon.
Oh man, I feel bad for him.
I'm telling you, the worst thing that's gonna happen to that relationship is Lana now is a single star, and I'm telling you, that's gonna disrupt that relationship. Mark my words that is gonna end. And I'm talking about the real relationship. It's gonna end because Rusev is not gonna be as over as her. It happened with Mark Merrow, and you know.
Yeah, but here's the difference between Mark Merrow and Rusev.
Yeah.
Rusev isn't a giant douchebag like Mark Merrow was.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the guys are not.
That is true though, man. Because Rusev is like, he really loves
a teddy bear.
Fucking,
he
man.
He's
You guys see the pictures.
teddy bear.
Yeah,
and I get that. I'm telling
but you can see Mark Merrow being a dick. You know, like,
there's certain guys that are not going to be able to handle their ladies getting more success than they are. I'm telling you.
How do you guys know that he was being a dick to her?
No, he just looks like
stories
a dick.
of those two. The way he treated Sable in the locker room, that's no secret.
Yeah, and why did he do that? Because she started getting more success than him.
What did he do? I don't remember.
I don't know what he did, but the bottom line is, I'm telling you that if Lana is going to be much more over than Rusev, and there's certain people in this world that's going to bother. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
I'm just a little confused because I never heard anything of him being a dick to her. So I don't know where that's coming from.
Me either. I've never heard that before.
I don't know. I've heard fucking Mark Merrow talk off the record. He just sounds like a dick.
Nah, he was on the show.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
He does a lot.
But you got to remember, Mark Merrow has since been saved. So once the Bible comes into play,
Mark Merrow's a really completely different guy because he does a lot.
We had him on the show.
He does a lot of charity work. He's into Christian.
We had him on the show though.
Yeah, he's into Christian stuff like.
I wasn't around, so I don't know.
He's a changed dude, but Mark Merrow said it. Even on this show, like Sable was the one getting used more and more. He was not getting used, and that's what's gonna happen with Rusev. I'm telling you, he's not gonna be as over as Lana, and that's gonna bother him.
Of course, it would bother me.
I'm telling. Of course, it's natural to be bothered by that. He came there as a star, and then all of a sudden, his wife is the star. Get out.
He's the wrestler.
Exactly. She's not even a wrestler. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a phenomenal wrestler.
Trained her how to fight.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I'm foreseeing a problem. I'm foreseeing
Rusev, she wouldn't be there.
Man and Elizabeth, another great example.
And I agree with you on everything you're saying. I agree. I mean, it's just a shitty situation for him because
you have your wife back there, and then your wife is getting more popular, and all the guys are looking at her. Come on.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't fit with anybody.
It's not gonna go well.
It's like Cena taking a back seat to fucking what's her name.
Exactly.
It just be like what?
Yeah. I mean, she was massively over tonight, man. Massively over. You know, maybe I could be wrong, but I'm just, and maybe right now it's okay, but give it a couple of months of Lana being cheered and being over and him not being ignored and all that. Watch that deteriorate real quick. And by the way, just to go back to Raw for 1 second, Enzo was getting attacked, and now Big Cass got attacked. So it's not Big Cass, I guess, because I thought it was Big Cass too.
I'm telling you one thing. They definitely doing a good job confusing us, because when I seen it, at first I said, okay, Big Cass is the one, attacking Enzo, and then I'm starting to see, oh, wait a minute.
Thing last week.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, wait a minute, but maybe it's Enzo attacking himself, and then he just attacked fucking Big Cass. But then I'm saying, well, maybe Big Cass is faking it. It's kind of hard, man. It's definitely hard to figure this out.
He could be faking.
But let me ask you guys something. Do you really care, though? I mean, what's really going on with that shit?
I actually do, because I actually like Enzo and Cass. I do.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it should be Enzo. I think Enzo should be the one to turn heel. I feel like he would be better as a heel.
But let me ask you something. Do you?
I agree.
But is that gonna make you want to watch him more?
Wait, but what about if Enzo was the one faking it and he was the one attacking Cass?
That's what I was saying. Like I don't know. I'm leaning more towards Enzo, to be honest with you.
I think that'd be cool.
If it had to be those two, I think it's Enzo.
Yeah, but wait, my question to you guys is,
yes, I care. I'm gonna watch it. Yes, I'm gonna watch it.
I do. I do care. Yeah, I do.
No, either one of them, if they turn heel,
I think if Enzo turned heel, I would definitely be interested in that.
I think Enzo would be a great heel cruiserweight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but my point is, he's not. First of all, you know his size, right? So it's like,
what?
I'm not too convinced with him as being a real badass against other badasses there.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Because the way he's been fighting,
being the annoying heel. That's it.
Yeah, but he's been tossed in everywhere by everybody, and the guy who really stood out.
I'm talking about the cruiserweights, man. I feel like he'd be a great heel.
If you're gonna do that, but if you're gonna do that, then you put him in that shit first, and then turn him heel over there. I don't see. I don't know. I just
they already started the storyline, so
yeah.
You know. Yeah. But so you don't care about the Kurt Angle thing either? Because
the Kurt Angle.
I missed that. So somebody's got to explain that to me.
Kurt Angle went out to the broadcast booth, pulled Corey Graves off of it, and they started talking about text messages while the show was going on. It was funny. Like, I'm interested in what's going on there. Like,
I am interested in it too. I don't think it has nothing to do with what's going on with the tag team guys.
No.
Enzo. So I'm definitely curious on what the fuck is going on. It's definitely has something to do with Stephanie for sure.
And I want to say this before we forget it and run out of time. Tonight AJ fought Dolph Ziggler, and AJ did the nicest fucking Styles clash that I've seen in a long time, man. The guy picked him up from the ground and did the Styles clash lovely. AJ is so fucking good. I mean, he is as good as it gets, man, out there. Him and Austin Aries, I think, are the smoothest wrestlers in that ring. The way that they put holds and get out of them and all that. He did a really great job tonight, man. AJ Styles, I cannot wait for that Money in the Bank, because that's going to be. I mean, you got fucking Owens, you got AJ, you got Nakamura in this fucking ladder match. It's going to be crazy. Yeah. It's going to be really. I really think that's going to be a sick ass match. They're going to top the 5-pack match from Raw. They're going to top that, and then the women too. Fucking Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Tamina, Natty.
That actually got my interest because it's the first ever ladder match for females in it.
Yeah.
Let's see how they can handle the ladder.
But you got girls.
Listen, like I told y'all, like before a couple months ago when they first, had that rumor, I think it's gonna be a botch fest. To be honest with you, I really feel like they're gonna be tripping over their feet in this match.
You got a lot of pros in that match. You got Charlotte, Natty, Tamina. So Becky Tamina's a pro. She grew up in the fucking business.
Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck. Oh, what have she done that you say, wow? You know, like she's a pro.
I'm not saying
great match do you remember?
Okay, but that doesn't negate that she's a pro.
But look at Nia Jax. So I guess she's a pro because she grew up in the business too. I mean, it doesn't matter.
I think she is though. I think maybe not.
I will give you Natty. I'll give you Natty, and I'll give you Charlotte for sure.
A pro in terms of matches. I'm just saying a pro in knowing how to conduct yourself and knowing how to do a certain match type. That I definitely think she's a pro at. You telling me she hasn't picked something up from the fucking family that she's involved with? I'm sure she has.
Not that especially lately.
Yeah, because they haven't given her. I mean, they've given her nothing to do. Nothing to do. So we don't really know what she could do. I think she could tear the house down if she wanted to, but we would never know. Anyway, in my opinion, by the way, SmackDown once again killed Raw this week in terms of just quality. I really enjoyed SmackDown from beginning to end. Good main event with Nakamura and Kevin Owens. Good matchup with AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler. Really good promo, by the way, with Mojo Rawley. I mean, Mojo Rawley cut like a shoot promo. Like, I forgot, by the way, about Mojo Rawley. And the guy shows up tonight and asks Shane McMahon, why has he been benched for 2 months? Why, he won the
Can I stop you there for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Stop you there for a second? I just want to ask everybody here. Has anybody noticed that he's been missing?
No,
because I
swear to God, I did not notice.
It's weird. I had like a passing thought like this past weekend.
But that's
because I got to watch it. I got to watch an old WrestleManias.
I tell you why I did, because they have been talking about it a little bit on ESPN, and I watch ESPN every day. So a little bit, not Mojo, but they've been talking about the other guy, that football player. And so for that reason, but I forgot, I haven't noticed that he hasn't been on SmackDown.
That's a perfect example of how people are not really invested in him. Yeah. Even if they cheered him when he was out there before, if they really like this guy, like let's just say Daniel Bryan, you would notice that Daniel Bryan disappeared.
But he was over those.
He was over, but it wasn't enough. Yeah, but it wasn't enough for people to even talk about it, because I didn't hear shit.
But they benched him 2 months, and but it is a good question. Why did they bench him all of a sudden? The guy was on ESPN. The guy was for those 3 days he beat Jinder Mahal.
I've always said that I was not into him. I'm not into him. I think he's annoying.
I agree with you, but you don't bench a guy that was on ESPN and all that for no apparent reason. You don't bench a guy like that. There has to be he must have pissed somebody off or done something, because he was just taken off just all of a sudden. You're annoyed and I'm annoyed, but for those 3 to 4 days, he was the most over guy on those shows. I mean, he was he was on ESPN and all that, had a big moment on SmackDown, and then all of a sudden disappears. And I really enjoyed, like Laura said earlier, he cut the most normal promo. He wasn't hyped. He wasn't acting like a goofball. He did a straight promo, and I actually liked it. I really did. Yeah. And by the way, he got in the ring with Jinder Mahal and lost.
And that was another thing. They
put Jinder Mahal strong in the match, though.
They put Jinder
actually
Mahal
let
in
him
the
get
third
shit in.
match, right? He was in the middle. He was like the afterthought of SmackDown today, Jinder Mahal, and he just won the title.
What the hell's going on already? He's not going to be more over than Nakamura or AJ. I could tell you that.
Wait. Can I say something? First of all, the whole thing about him being the afterthought, I'm going to disagree on that, just because of the fact that and I'm going to say this is the reason I'm going to disagree with that, because first of all, when he came out tonight, he looked like a star.
He did.
Like he was the man there. Like when I saw him, maybe you didn't hear the crowd.
But I feel like he should have closed the show, though.
But you don't always have a champion close the show. I'm used to that shit.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? But when he came out, he looked like a major player. Like he just looked it. You know what I'm saying? So I think he really stood out tonight. Like even if it was a quick match or whatever it was,
the promos too.
Yeah, he came out with the belt. He had the scarf in his face, which is the turban or whatever. He just looked like he belongs where he's at right now.
And by the way, what I find fascinating about pro wrestling since the 70s or even maybe before that. Whenever you have a foreign wrestler in a position, especially like a high position like he's in, and he starts talking in his own language, people for some reason cannot stand that. You know, it's amazing
that heel thing.
So we're supposed to be tolerant. We're supposed to be tolerant in this country, but it happens all the time when somebody speaks a different language. And I'm talking about real life. When you hear somebody speaking a different language in front of you, it bothers you. For some reason, it bothers you. And when he started talking in his own language, man, that crowd started booing the fuck out of him, man. It was just like amazing to me. Iron Sheik, fucking the Von Erich's father when he was doing the German gimmick back in the day. I mean, any type of foreign gimmick. Nikolai Volkov when he used to sing.
I was singing the Russian national anthem.
Any foreign. Whenever somebody does something foreign, my God, does that bother the crowd? And he did it really well tonight, man. You know, I'm actually starting to dig it, but. You know, my thing is, how long are they going to go with this? Because I hope they go longer than they should, because I think, you know, you've gone all the way, you know.
I'm hearing John Cena is going to be the guy facing him at some major pay-per-view. I think it's SummerSlam.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think he's Cena that's going to confront him at some point, because it's not going to be Randy Orton that's going to take the belt. You know what I'm saying? It cannot happen. And
save us from another Randy Orton title run, please.
Yeah. But I definitely see him. I think it's even at freaking the Survivor Series he might even hold it up to.
Yeah, well,
there was reports about the ratings. It depends how the ratings is. If the ratings is like dip, you know what I mean, like to the point where they feel like it's Jinder's fault, then they're gonna take it off fast.
I feel, but like I said, they've gone far with it. Keep going with it. You know, like you've already done it. You know.
Yeah. And I have no complaints about it right now at the moment.
Why not? You know, why not have AJ be the one to take it from him?
Exactly. That's why I feel
it could be, but I don't see AJ taking that belt anytime soon. I think he's going to be feuding with a bunch of guys leading up to his if they're going to go with it with the Nakamura and AJ at the WrestleMania. And I think at some point one of them is going to win the belt, which should be that way.
Yeah,
and go into Mania with the belt to defend it against the other. So, but if they can hold Jinder with that fucking belt until fucking Survivor Series or even longer, even better, because it just gives him more credibility, and people will be behind his push. If you take it away in a month, 2 months, people are just gonna be like,
That's what I'm afraid. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That they're gonna do all this and then take it away from him, and then he's gonna be a jobber again.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't fuck up on that part, because they tend to fuck up a lot. So
I'm telling you, man, when he comes out there and starts talking that gibberish, people really
talk to my people in Pajambi.
He has that grimace, that face that you just don't like.
That ugly fucking face with that big nose. Oh my God, he really do look like a fucking bad guy,
and that body that he got from the gym from working out.
That's another thing. I mean, do you know how many people that be online really like studying Jinder Mahal's body and accusing him of being on steroids? Come on.
Yeah,
dude has a roadmap on his.
I understand that, but come on, bro. Did we study Brock Lesnar's body when he debuted? Did we study Batista's body? Did we study Ryback's body? No, we didn't. We might have spoken about it. Wait a minute, hold on. There's people on the internet there's people that's been pointing out why they proof that Jinder Mahal's on steroids, because look at this, look at that. It's like, come on, bro. Can we get off of that already?
I know.
But those people, those are the people that I said earlier. Like that's what they do all day long.
But here's the thing: you got that whole picture thing because people on the internet themselves pointed out the dick and the balls.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is what people do
on the internet. That's what people do. Exactly. That's what people do.
Oh, but they really are like on his. I know his great balls of fire, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like that. This is what people do on the internet. They do this all day long, looking for
and not only that
mistakes, looking for commercial mistakes.
Yeah. Not only that, but when they find these things, we be like, "Oh shit, I didn't even notice that."
Yeah, exactly.
So they would be like, "Damn, thanks for these guys."
But it's funny because those people do all the work. You know, they're not getting paid.
Yeah,
they do all this work all day long for stupid shit. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for people to stop trying to get Jinder Mahal on the steroid thing, you're gonna be waiting for a while, bro.
Ah,
They're
but
still doing it. They're
no,
still doing it with Cena.
Yeah, they're still trying to get Cena on that.
Yeah, so that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
come
that's
on,
not gonna
exactly. Yeah. I don't see nobody googling Cena's pictures from 20 years ago when he was a bodybuilder and look at how fucking crazy he looked. And nobody's like pointing that,
No,
that out.
People were at a certain point. They were. They stopped a little bit, but they were.
Well, nobody talks about Brock failing a fucking steroid test in UFC in his last UFC fight. But
dude, that shit was all over the place. They were talking about that for months.
That's old news at this point.
It's old news, but
it's just like the sex tapes that got released, and that shit's it's old news.
Yeah, after a while it becomes.
Yeah, but I feel like they talk about Jinder Mahal's body a lot more than what they did with Brock when he failed the test.
Because I think they're bothered by the fact that Jinder Mahal is where he is.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
He's already the champion. He's on steroids. Like I see that shit in every comment.
I know. That is
once
true.
Once you become a champion, that's when people start investigating your past.
Exactly. They would have never bothered with Jinder Mahal if he was still a jobber. But now that he's a champion, forget about it. They're looking for anything, bro. All right, so basically that's it, man. The pay-per-view, I actually like the pay-per-view from top to bottom. I really did.
Before I forget, Joey, the fashion files from tonight.
Oh yes, I didn't see it, to be honest. I gotta see.
Oh, it's awesome because
team right there.
They got the New Day involved with it this time around. It was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it after the show. That is my favorite tag team, man. I love Fandango and these guys are getting over, by the way, more so than the Usos or New Day or whatever. These guys are getting over, and I'm afraid they're gonna get buried. That's what I'm.
Yeah, and you know something, seeing New Day come out after a certain amount of months that it hasn't wrestled, they seem so stale now, man. Even more than before. Like
I agree.
I looked at them like, wow, like why'd you come back? Like
I was not impressed at all. I was not impressed.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
And I don't even think the crowd was into it like they were, unless my TV was low, like you say, and I'm deaf. But I don't know.
They were. Unfortunately, they were. The crowd was into it.
They need to stop being into this.
I mean, WWE crowds, you could, they're so, they get entertained by anything, really. They're the followers.
Just look at the popularity of certain things that's going on nowadays. For God's sake, exactly. It's so weird.
It's very weird. It really is.
I will say this: I got to start catching up on some of the up down down, and Seth versus AJ in Madden is absolutely hilarious to watch.
I gotta see that. So yeah, like I said, Laura, did you enjoy did you see the whole pay-per-view?
I got to see the whole pay-per-view. I didn't get to see Raw.
Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the pay-per-view? Because I did.
For the most part, it was okay. Like they said, there was just it was like NXT and the pay-per-view, SmackDown's pay-per-view. There were certain things that I did not agree with. But overall, I mean, it was good. It was good action. The women's match pissed me off, but
yeah, it was good.
What about? Hold on, we left something out in the pay-per-view, man.
What?
My nigga Elias Sampson, man. What you think about it? This is only 3 or 4 weeks.
I'm getting into it, bro. I'm getting into it. I like that.
I like that he's throwing in the city and dissing the city while he's singing slow song. I think it's hilarious. I like it.
Yeah, I'm starting to really. I actually enjoyed that on the pay-per-view. I really did. I was like, I saw him for the first time last week. That was the first time I got to see him. And I was like, I like this dude, man. I like this guy. Yeah.
So, I like his look. I like his little gimmick. So let's see how far it goes. Something new, refreshing. So
yeah, it is. So that's basically it. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. And we will be, of course, next week talking about another pay-per-view for the following week. Fucking pay-per-views.
Money in the bank, man.
Serious. Like every week we're doing predictions or whatever. God, never stops. Anyway, that's basically it. The man who sleeps on the floor cannot possibly fall out of bed.
What does that mouth do?
Absolutely nothing.